Mama Fab Finds. If you've been watching any videos back to back, you'll notice my clothes are still the same because it's still the same day, and I'm just trying to kick out a few videos while I have some time, because I'm trying to get as much as I can listed, especially Eastery stuff, because Easter will be here in 21 days. And it doesn't matter necessarily, because Easter sells all year round, like Christmas sells all year round, and so on and so forth. But still, if I can get it up, I would like to. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I think, did I say I'm Debbie, Best Case Mama Fab Finds? If I didn't, I'll repeat myself, because, you know, I'm old and I do that sometimes. Usually not today, but anyway, today is Sunday when I'm recording this, but you probably will not see this for about a week. So this is like the 30th of March when I'm recording. But because of the way I try to release things onto YouTube, I try to release something like every so many days to kind of be consistent. Although yesterday I released 2 things because magical things happened with my program that I use that allowed me to smoothly go through stuff that I've been struggling with for weeks. So I got 2 out yesterday just because I was so happy to be able to not have to struggle with the program I use. And I don't know that it was the program, it was the loading the videos to the program, and that video was 45 minutes long, and it could have just been it was too long and my computer was giving me a problem. I don't know, but I drug it and dropped it and it went. Little light bulb went off. So hey, there we have it. So anyway, this stuff I'm going to show you today is stuff from the private pick that I did. So the whole thing for everything I picked up was like $250. End of the day, the around average price of everything was $100 was around $1.50, $1.60, something like that. That's okay, because there were a few I just averaged it out because there were a couple things that I did overpay for. Now there's one item I paid for separately. I overpaid for it. I don't think it's here. It's in my office still. It was a picture. I'm gonna maybe double my money on it, but I debated long and hard, and I could not look up things in that when I was there. My phone wasn't working right, so all in all, it'll be fine. But live and learn. You know, it was my first time doing a private, so I was just excited to be able to go to somebody's home and look through things and see what I could find. And I did find some good things, and I found some things that were but I found some things that were interesting. I think in one of the other videos I showed a Christmas like accordion paper thing, cardboard thing that you can open and stick on a table, and some old vintage cards, and I found them there. So there's things like that were mixed in with the other things I got. I mostly went there to get Plush because he had a lot, and it's like a mishmash of okay and not okay. There are a couple things I picked up that don't work, but it might be okay anyway. I haven't really looked everything up yet, so we'll find out as I go and do these videos how things are. So that, you know, and the lighting was terrible. And the lighting was so dim in there, so it was a real struggle to see the condition of things because it was in a basement. So, you know, but it's okay. Overall, it'll work out. It does. I actually, over the summer had bought, and I don't think I did a video about this because I wasn't doing videos at the time, but I had bought literally 3 tubs of vintage soap from John Wanamaker's for $10. My husband thought I had lost my mind. Some of it sells for $50, like for like a big thing of like 10 bars of vintage soap. And they all smell so good because they used real botanicals back then. Now, I put a disclaimer in there that these are old soaps, like they're from the 40s and the 50s. I really don't recommend using them. I don't know what could happen to the soaps, the botanicals, and there's no allergic information on them. So warning, warning, danger, danger if you're going to use them personally. You know, use a test spot first. You know, make sure you're not allergic. But they're great for props in movies or plays, or just, you know, if you want the fragrance, you can put them in your drawers, or if you like them because your grandmother had them, who knows. But I've already made my money back and then some. So, and at the same thing, I picked up that same group of sales. I actually picked those up on the way home. I picked up some other great stuff at this yard sale. But I went off far from where I live, to this township far from where I live, And they were doing like a town-wide sale. And one of the houses had 2 tubs of like, storage tubs of vintage ceramic Christmas houses. And they weren't Department 56, but she wanted $25 for them. She knew there were more than 25 in there. And there were, I don't remember how many right now, but I want to say maybe 30. And I bought them, and I figured if I sell one for $25, I broke even, and anything else after that is profit. And at least it was worth $20 to $25, so I should be able to do that. Well, over the Christmas, I only have like half of a tote left. So that was another one of those, I really couldn't tell. I couldn't look through the tote. They were all in there, not even wrapped in newspaper, some of them. They were so mishmash. I didn't know what was broken. Nothing was chipped. Nothing was broken. The only problem they all had was they'd cut the cords and the lights were inside of them still on some of them. But that didn't mean you couldn't put a new light in them. Just that light wasn't coming out, And I disclosed that in the listings if that was the case. But yeah, it didn't matter. And they were like random. Like some were Lemax, some were American something. Like they weren't anything big and special, but people were still looking for parts for their more inexpensive house sets. So good, it was great. So it always does, it all works out usually with when you're buying bigger quantity, So, and they're easier to list. The house is not as easy to ship as a soap, but it's okay. My husband's a really good shipper. So anyway, this is a vintage Cribmates Christmas themed baby bib. It is from, it was made in Hong Kong, so figure 60s, 70s maybe, probably. It looks 70s to me, the little thing. But vintage baby bibs do pretty well. Some better than other, like Gerber ones do real well. I have no idea what these are worth, so I will pop what it sold for on eBay prices up here when I look them up when I do the editing of this video. For the sake of my guess, for one single baby bib, $10. That's my guess. This is a Gerber, however. It's made in the USA. It is the plastic one with the little place to catch things because, things happen. Babies, things happen. So it has the cow went over the moon nursery rhyme on it. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. There's the dog, the spoon and the plate. Where's the dish and the spoon, and the moon and the cow. So it's all primary kind of colors. I guess teal is not really, orange and teal are not really primary colors, but you get the idea. But I'm gonna maybe 10 to 15 because it's Gerber. And again, don't know, don't have any clue. Never have I ever found them before. So this guy is very cute and his tag is cut. So I will post up here who he is. But I know he's from a cartoon, or at least I think he is, because he's like flat body. He could be like a Cole's Care from a book, perhaps. But he's cute. I'm going to say probably 15 to 20 on him. But we shall see. So this is a realistic bunny rabbit. It is by Trudy Toys of Norwalk, Connecticut, and it was sewn in Haiti. And it has wire in his ear, so you can, pose his posable ears there. But I always put realistic in pose when they're meant to be like real, look real. And he's pretty cute though. So he was actually, wait a minute, what's Haiti on here? Sewn in Haiti, made in the USA. The material, oh boy, this must be old because the fabric, which is not the case now, was made in the USA. 50s, 60s? I'm going to go with that. And it was sewn together in Haiti. Now we got the fabric is made in other places and it might be sewn together here. But probably not. Most of it is made in China. So anyway, this is pretty cute. It's pretty funny. Look at that face. He's got like a nose and like a funny mouth. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to guess on that maybe $20. It could be more because I've never heard of Trudy Toys. So, I don't know. So this is a Lily Lamb, and it's a Beanbag Friends mini. Doesn't look at that nose. The nose is like hot pink. Wait till you say. Mini Beanbag Friend. It's a keychain thing. It is made by something international. Martin International. It is not too old because it was made in China, but it's definitely not too recent either. I'm going to say maybe 80s or 90s. But look at that nose, hot pink nose, and the smile. Anyway, it's just really cute. It's probably very low bread and butter, like $5, $8 maybe, but super cute nonetheless. So this is a keepsake ornament by Hallmark, and I will tell you right now, generally, Hallmark ornaments are not worth what you're going to pay for them. Now, like I said, I paid probably under $2 for this, so that's okay. But even at that, lots of them aren't worth more than 3 or 4. And you're going to wait because some of them, it's mass market. The thing about Hallmark ornaments, mass market. But there are collector series that do well. Like I picked up some fairies, flower fairies, and some birds, and they all did really well. Also, the other thing that it does is member ones or employee only ornaments. So those also do well. This happens to be a 1990 keepsake of membership ornament by Hallmark. So this was something that only members could buy. And I bought it because in the event it isn't worth a lot, it's going to stay at Debbie's house because my mama passed away from lung cancer in 2007. I had to think about it. So she collected owls. She probably had 1,000 owls. I did not take all her owls because I don't want 1,000 owls. I don't collect owls. But after she passed away in November, and it was one of those times when my grandmother passed away in September. We had just buried her in October when my mom literally 2 days later was in the hospital, and her other lung collapsed, and she died within 48 hours of that happening. She had been treated. She did fine with treatment. She was going to go through a second round of radiation, but all the other cancer was gone. It was all good. And then a different kind of cancer showed up, and she was dead in 48 hours. So, and then I had a girl that worked with me who was my assistant who also died of lung cancer that had metastasized and gone to her brain in November. So it had been my grandmother, and then somebody, like, it was a bad several months of funerals and things. And it was also Christmas, and my daughter was 7. So I did not want to Christmas shop. I didn't want to think about it, but my daughter was 7. And so I went to the mall with my aunt, and we were in Boscov's, I think, or one of the stores, and we were looking for pajamas because she needed a pair of pajamas. She had outgrown her pajamas, so I wanted to get her like a nightgown or something that was cute. And literally in all of the store, there were, in all of the children's department, not one pair of pajamas, nothing. I could not find anything. Now, mind you, it could have been me. It could have been just maybe they had been put out shipments and they didn't have them out yet. I don't know, but I couldn't find anything, and I was very frustrated, and I did not want to walk around the mall. I didn't want to spend time there. I just wanted to get and go, and it wasn't, I didn't have anything. So we were heading back to the elevator because I don't do escalators. It's a long vertigo story, but I can go up, I can't go down. So we were going to take the elevator, and we were walking to the elevator, and as we were walking through to the elevator, there was a rack, and on the front of the rack, it was a round rack, and facing out into the aisle, not hung straight on the rack, but hung like sideways so it would face out, was a velour, like teal blue and turquoise and teal blue pajama, long sleeve, with a giant owl on the front of it. And I started to cry. It was my daughter's size. I started to cry more. But of course I bought the pajamas. But after that, every time I went anywhere, I kept seeing owls. And I wore my mom's name, which was Amber. So it was either like, they'd say, Amber, please come your thing. And then I'd see an owl. And I was like, Mom, I see you. Like, I was like, Mom, I see you. Hi, Mom. And it's just funny. So even today, and it's been a long time now. It's almost 20 years. I will go out and I will occasionally see, I'll see an owl and I'll go, hi, Mom, because it just always reminds me of it. Now, that's not to say I buy owls. It's just a funny little thing that happens, and it's nice. But when I saw this, it's Club Hollow, and it's, like I said, it's a members only, and it's a little tree trunk, but inside the tree trunk, the door opens, and wait. I don't want to break it. Hold on. Does it open? I know it opens. I'm pretty confident it opens. But hold on. I thought. I don't want to pull it too hard. Maybe it just opens, but I thought he comes out a bit. Let me see. Yeah, maybe it just opens. But inside, it's an owl holding an ornament. So it's so cute, and it says Courier 1990 on the front, and it has a little window in the back, and then carved in a little heart on the side, it says Collectors Club 1990. So I just thought it was so cute, and I thought, well, it doesn't sell. Then I guess it'll just be on my tree because it's cute, and I thought so. It has a little Christmas ball in his hand, so why not? But it probably will sell because these tend to do well because they get broken, or they never got that one, or it was the year before they joined, or and they won it anyway, or they ran out before they could get theirs that year when they joined. So it's a keepsake ornament collectors club, and I'm going to say probably $20. Okay. And then this is a Thai Beanie Boo, but he's a husky, and huskies always do okay. His name is Whiskers, and probably bread and butter. 10 to 12. Most Thai don't do great, but Thai classics and Thai pluffies generally do pretty well. Definitely worth a pickup. So this is just a little, I think it's an ornament, and it just needs like a tie put on it. But look how cute he is. He's a little knit giraffe, and he has a little bird on his back. He's darling as darling can be. I definitely lensed him at some point. I think he's just bread and butter, 10 to 12, but he's super cute. And this is a little bird ornament. Same thing. Bread and butter, probably $5 to $8. I will generally lot things up when they are not good. If they're not good, or whatever, I'll throw them in a lot with other less than $1 type things that, throw them all together maybe for 15 or whatever, however that works. And then I have a lot. So this one is from 1983. It's a Dakin, and it is an Odie, which is Garfield, right? Or Odie is Garfield, and he's one of those little finger clip things, that you can clip them onto things. We used to have these in our lockers. We clip them in our lockers. So again, probably bread and butter. Some Garfield does really well. This one's very cute though. This is the dog. And I think I have another one of him, a bigger size. His nose is like up leather. Look at those eyes. And he's got like a little tag on his butt. But he is Artist Collection, the dog, Artist International. And this one is from 2002, so he is vintage, and he is an ornament, or whatever you want to call him. No, it's not elastic, so, but look at that nose, he's so cute. Again, bread and butter, $8 to $10, my guess. This is a 2000 Cuddle Me Toys. It's got a little caliper, like something once upon a time was hooked to here, but is no longer. So I will probably try to figure out if I can get this off of here without cutting him. If not, I'll just disclose it. But he's Kelly Toy. Him's a St. Bernard, I think. But he's pretty cute, and he's like a terry cloth material. Beanies. Again, probably 5 to 8, the little things. I like little things. Sometimes these are little. This is Dakin. It's an old tag too. Look at this tag here. And this is a mouse. Look at that. I have sold, no lie. Beanie Babies don't sell generally very well. I've sold 3 white rats, Thai Beanie Babies, for $10, $12, maybe $15. I don't know what the fascination is, but yeah. So when I saw the mouse, and he's made in Korea, and he's definitely vintage, I thought, well, you know, it's probably worth it picking him up. So I did, and I'm going to guess he's probably $10. He might even be more, because he's a mouse, and mice are weirdly weird. All right, so this is Kicks by Kamar. Kamar is one of those vintage brands that when you pick it up, it generally sells pretty well. I do have a Kamar thing that hasn't sold yet. I've had a few people ask about it. I have it listed for a price that it has sold for in the past. Not that I'm not willing to take a reasonable offer, but you know, with plush, it's always waiting for the person that's really looking for it. So again, you just gotta wait. But this is a donkey. Look at that fit. Look at the. He's got the little saddlebags. The saddlebags have some fluff in them, and they're not closed, which is weird to me. I'm not sure I like that they have fluff in them. They're not closed, but they're not closed and they have fluff in them, so that's that. You could take the fluff out if you don't like it. But look, it's got its tag. I've never even. His name is Hernandez. Of course it is. He's cute. Yeah, but it's Kamar. It's California. He's definitely vintage, but I don't know how vintage. But I'm going to guess probably 70s. And I'm going to also guess in the $25 range. Could be more, but I'm going to guess that. Here is a 1997 Tony the Tiger cereal toy with the tag. It's a Wee Bean character. He was born in 1952, and his characteristic is they're great. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, so he's in pretty good condition though. And he's little, but because he's cereal toy and he's Tony the Tiger, I'm going to guess 12 to 15 and possibly more than that because, you know, you never know about those kinds of things. This is a Sparkle Bear, witchy hat. I don't know. It does not have, what is the information on here? It's got lots of information. None of it is helping me. It's just like the content. So it could be like a, I'll have to look him up online, but it could be he's like from a department, like a Walgreens or a little store like that. But he's a Sparkle Bear with a witch's hat, and Sparkle Bear, bears with witch, anything with like witch's hats or pumpkins or Halloweeny things tend to sell. Not generally always for a lot of money, but they tend to sell. So I'm going to say maybe in the $10 price range, but you never know till you know. This is a 1998 Stratman International Bulldog stocking. Look how cute. Look at that face. Is that the cutest thing you've ever saw or what? He's so cute. And I think I have two of them actually. They're not big stockings, so they might be for your dog or for like little kids. I don't know. Or for people that don't do, like my kids are big now. We don't do big stockings. So like, you know, some candy in there would be fine. So he's pretty cute. And I'm going to guess, just because of all those things, that's probably 15 to 20 crazily, but that probably is. So this one is velour. It's got some feathers on it. Something like a duck exploded. But he's got angels and all sorts of embroidered things on here. It's really pretty. Snowmen and angels and all manner of things. Definitely vintage. Probably from the 80s. I have to look it up, but I'm going to say 15 to 20. Maybe. Again, you never know. This is One Target Together, the 4th issue of Christmas Together dated series by UNESCO. It's little mousies on a dartboard. Are they drinking beer? Drinking beer! Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Anyway, in the box, probably $10 to $12. Nothing crazy there usually, but you know, you never can tell. And then I'm going to do these two next, and then I'll come back and do the rest of that bag later. But these two things I've overpaid for, but because I worked them into the rest of them, now they're $1 something, so they're okay now. But it's the Everly Gallery, and they're signed. This is a little olive tray. And I'm going to say it was in the like $20 range. And then this is a little, I don't know what, maybe for oil. for something. Again, it's signed GS by the Everly Gallery and painted. I don't know. I'm a little suspect of putting, I don't know. Anyway, or like just for rings or whatever, but it's cute. It's got a leaf on it. And this one was, I want to say maybe 15. So they're okay. But I paid $10 for them. So that wouldn't have been okay had I not had all the rest of the stuff to kind of throw into the mix. So that was okay. So anyway, we're going to call this one for today because I'm trying to keep them in that under a half hour. So if you like the content, hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment below. Tell me if you saw anything cute that you liked, or oh my gosh, I never saw that before. You know, I love, like, if I have time, I try to get in there and answer questions or whatever. So please do that. Subscribe if you like the content. You can hit the notification button and it'll tell you when I put something new up so you can see it too. I do subscribe to all the people that I watch, all the other resellers I watch and other things that I watch on YouTube. That way I do see in my feed, like when in the evening when I have some time to watch, I'll see my people that I'm watching, or I can go into my subscriptions and look to see if they put anything new up, because there's so much on there that I don't need to see or don't want to see. That really thins out the herd of things that I would like to watch. So if you enjoy watching, that's really a good way to, you know, see what I put up lately, so you can see what's new and exciting, and to go back if you haven't watched in a while and catch up on what I put up. So when you have some time, because I know we don't all have time, and I do appreciate so much you taking the time to come here today, spend time with me, listen to me chitter chatter and share some things that I found out and about in the wild. And I will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.